What up, everybody? This is Voodoo Delette doing the Zombie Survival Guide Part 2. Okay, the last place that we left off was Walmart. You had finally, after a couple of weeks of surviving on gas stations and junk food, you finally made it all the way up to Walmart. Kudos to you. Alright, you might have a couple of zombies in there, like I said, plink them off with either your pistol or possibly your AR-15. One of your best things that you're going to have to survive is stealth. So if you can learn how to be quiet, that's awesome. Alright, well, first of all, go ahead and grab yourself a cart because you're definitely going to need it. You definitely want to bring your duffel bag or anything to pack some stuff in just in case you bring out that cart full of goodies and there's a bunch of zombies running around and you can't really shoot them because there's too many. So you just want to be able to grab your sack and go. But it doesn't hurt to load up everything you can in a cart. Alright, first place you're going to want to hit is, of course, your canned food aisle. You want to go get that because it's all non-perishable items. You want to get some sweet stuff, some salty stuff, meats, vegetables, fruits. You want to make sure you get all that. Alright, load that cart up. You don't really want to go for the box stuff because that'll require things like butter, which will melt, milk, which will go sour, and all of that stuff. Now, of course, evaporated milk will probably be your best friend as well, so you might want to go ahead and grab some of that. Then, at that point in time, you can grab some box stuff if you want to change a pace, but it's going to be a pain in the woo-ha. Alright? So after you go ahead and you figure out what you want for food, you're going to want definite bottled water, maybe some sodas for some caffeine, or just pleasure. And, just go ahead and get some of that stuff. Alright? Then after that, what you're going to want to go for is you're going to definitely want to get some clothes as well. You're not going to want to stay in the same nasty-ass clothes day in, day out. All the time. Not because of some kind of prissy issue. It's just, if it gets tore up, it goes to hell, stuff like that. You have some backup. The more clothes you have, now you're not going to want to go overboard. You're probably going to want a different outfit for every different day of the week. And you're going to want something sensible, not nothing real tight. You're going to want something that's loose and flowing. Something that you can breathe in. You're not trying to look sexy here. All you're trying to do is to make sure that you can switch it every day so it doesn't get worn out that quickly. Shoes are going to be another thing that you're going to want to do because you're going to be you're going to be walking on foot a lot. And half the time says that the zombie apocalypse is going to last probably forever. Maybe not so much. I mean, eventually we'll probably get other civilizations and stuff like that. But for now, you're going to want shoes. Shoes are going to be a major trading point, which trading value I will go into later. Okay, after you go ahead and get your shoes, the next thing that you're definitely going to want to be getting is medicine. Medicine, like bullets, is going to be worth its weight in gold when it's all said and done. You're going to want to make sure you get painkillers, fever reducers, cough drops, something simple, something to where you're not dying from hacking up a lung later on. You want something that's going to soothe you. You're going to want to definitely make sure you have peroxide and rubbing alcohol if you get cut. Now, if you get bit, well, you're kind of screwed. I'm sorry, if you get bit, do yourself a favor, shoot yourself in the head. All right? Don't sit there and turn into one of those zombies that's going to go around and eat everybody. So after you've gathered up all that, make sure you have toothpaste and toothbrushes and mouthwash. Again, you're probably asking why. It's during the zombie apocalypse. Well, you're not going to want to deal with a nasty-ass tooth infection either. Alright, that's going to be, yeah. Anyway, since you're at Walmart, they also have a pharmacy. You're going to want to hop over that pharmacy and try to find any kind of antibiotics. You might not want to get some major hardcore painkillers or anything like that because there's a chance of addiction. If you get addicted to these painkillers and suddenly you run out, you're going to go kind of insane and everything like that, make some really bad judgments. You don't want to get addicted to any kind of drug. But you are going to want to go for and look for penicillin. Penicillin is an antibiotic that can be used for pretty much any type of infection. You notice you're starting to get an infection, go ahead and use some antibiotics. Women, you're going to have feminine products. It sucks, but you're definitely going to want to load up a cart with that. But after that, that's all said and done. That's good to go. Now you need to head over to the camping section. One thing you're going to want some of these little gas camping stoves. You're going to want some matches, some lighters. I don't know how to make a damn fire with, 2 sticks put together or smashing rocks. So you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to get like bags and bags full of lighters. Every single lighter I see, I'm going to go ahead and get that. That way I can light me a fire if I have to. I can go ahead and, because if you have a fire, obviously you can cook food a lot easier. So one thing you're going to want definitely is possibly if you can find a cast iron pot or something that's not quite aluminum. All right, get yourself a big pot that's not, like I said, not aluminum because it could get really messed up or anything, but something that you could possibly burn in. A lot of like when you go out to the streets and you see all those hobos around those big old flaming barrels, you want something like that. Because let's face it, eventually you're going to run out of kerosene for all those fancy camping gear things you got. Batteries and flashlights are going to be a lifesaver, but they're going to be batteries for everything. So go ahead, and grab batteries. They're going to be your lifesaver. I mean, they can be used for so many different things. Do you really want to grab a tent? Probably not really, because I do not want you to sit there and think, all right, I could stop here, pitch a tent, and I'll be fine, and I'll carry on in the morning if something happens to your major hideout. Because let's face it, you have no protection. The zombie can get right inside. And then, you will not survive the zombie apocalypse. After that, like I said, you just want to make sure you have possibly things to keep in shape with. But you want fillet knives. You want to go ahead and get some fishing gear because live game and stuff like that is going to also be a very good lifesaver. You got to make sure during the zombie apocalypse you don't have, you're not queasy. If you're queasy by the sight of blood, 9 times out of 10 says you will not survive the zombie apocalypse. You have to be tough. So speaking on that tough perk, okay, after finally you gather up everything you can think of, Band-Aids, gauze, and all that other good stuff from Walmart, and let's say you actually made it out of the horde outside and you have all of your supplies, everything you needed, and you got it all stashed up. Well, now you're starting to get a little bit lonely. And now you're also noticing that there are other survivors out there. So what are you going to do when you meet a group of survivors out in the middle of nowhere? We're going to get to that in the next session, the Zombie Apocalypse Part 3.